Greetings and welcome to my studio. Many people asking me how I'm getting a vintage sound in my productions. So in today's video I will demonstrate how I'm recording drums, and by using only two plugins and my trusty analog tape recorder, I'll get this drum sound to sound like this. So if you find it interesting, please watch this video and I hope you will enjoy it. So those are the channels we've recorded. We have kick, top snare, bottom snare and hi-hats. Now I'm gonna use gate and maybe some EQ on each track. Get rid of the room sound, make it sound more dry and punchy. Then we're gonna send the signal out of the box to those first three channels on the mixer. They will send the signal into the tape machine. From the output of the tape machine, the signal will go to the next three channels of the console that will send the sound back to the DAW with the tape saturation and with the tape sound. So let's start by listening to each track and see what kind of process we can do in the box to make it sound better before transfer it to the tape machine. So this is the kick. We can hear there is lots of leakage from the snare and from the hats. So let's take care of it by adding some gate. Go to dynamics, C gate mono. So I'm searching for the point where the gate filtering out all the snares and hi-hats. So we left only with the kick sound. Now let's make the attack shorter so it will be more punchy. Next channel is the top snare. Let's listen to it. We'll do the same thing with the gate since we have lots of kick and hats on the top snare. Again, I'm searching for the point where there is only snare sounds with no kick and no hats. Make the attack and release shorter so it will be more punchy. Okay, so this sounds right. Let's listen to the bottom snare. From this channel we would like to use only the snare wire sound. So we will use high pass filter to filtering all the low frequencies and keep only the frequencies with the snare wire. So now let's boost a little bit the frequencies where the snare wire sound is. And we can cut a little bit of the super high frequencies, they're too harsh. Maybe we can cut this frequency a little bit. Okay, this sounds good. Now let's merge both snare tracks together into one group so we can transfer them into a one track on the tape machine. So we add a mono group and send both snare channels into the new snare group. Oh, I see I forgot to put gate to the bottom snare, so let's add gate to it. Go to dynamics, C1 gate. So again, I'm using the threshold to set the right point where there is no other things but snare, and set the attack and release same as the top snare, so both of them will open and close at the same time. Now let's hear them together. Only top. I think this is about right. This is good snare sound. Now let's move to the heads. Again, we would like to get rid of all the low frequencies with all the kick and snare, instead it's only with the head sounds. So we will use the high pass filter to filter everything out. So this is about the right area where the good hi-hat sounds is. We can boost it a little bit on the right frequencies that we like. Again, we can decrease a little bit the super high frequencies. Okay, it sounds great. Next step will be to send each track to the mixing console and from there to the tape. First, let's set the outputs. So kick, go to mono out. Snare, go to mono out 2. And heads, go to mono out 3. Now let's see that the signals go into the tape machine, and we can listen to it back from the return channels. We will set the tape machine to input mode, so we can listen only to the input. And let's play the track and see what we can hear. So as we can see, the kick goes into channel 4, snare to channel 5, and hats going into channel 6. This is good. Now we will change the machine into repro mode. Now we'll just add 3 mono tracks so we can record the sound coming back from the tape. Let's name it bass drum return, snare return, and hi-hat return. Let's set the inputs: mono in 1, mono in 2, and mono in 3. So now we are ready to capture the sound coming back from the tape. So now let's start to listen to the sound we are getting back from the tape. So the machine is in repro and we're getting into record. And let's open the kick channels. Now there's no EQ on any channel. So let's hear how it sounds. Usually we are tending to cut low frequencies on the send and then compensate and add them back on the return. So we cut it a little bit, and here comes the compensation on the return. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because low frequencies have more power and they're getting into saturation much faster than high frequencies. So to get saturation on the higher frequencies, we attenuate the low frequencies on the send, then we can get saturation also on the high frequencies, and on the return we bring back the low frequencies. So now we have very beautiful kick sounds with very fat buttons and nice punch. So let's move to the snare. We will cut the low frequencies on the send. And bring them back on the return. Sounds good. Let's move to the hi-hats. We will cut all the low frequencies and try to boost the right frequencies that make our hi-hat sounds crisp. I don't care about this saturation because this is part of the sound I'm looking for. Same process on the return. We'll cut the low frequencies and try to boost the same frequencies that sounds right to us. And this crunchy sound, this is what I'm looking for. So the last thing we left is to check the levels of the signal coming from the tape into the DAW. So I'll look on those 3 input channels. I would like a peak level of about minus 10 dBs. Kick is good. We can turn the snare a little bit higher. We can increase the hi-hats same way a little bit. Okay, sounds good. Now we are ready to record everything through the tape and bring it back to the DAW. So we'll arm those 3 channels, go to the top of the track, put the machine into recording, and start to record on the DAW. Okay, so now we have the tracks with the sound of the tape. Let's listen to them, see if we can do a little bit more process to make it sound even better, and then we will compare it to the original tracks that we recorded with the microphones and to the tracks with the process we've done before the tape. Let's go into solo and listen to the kick. This is sound not bad. We can EQ it a little bit. I don't like those low frequencies on the leakage coming from the snare, so again we'll use a little bit of gate to get rid of them and make the kick sound even a little bit more punchy. I like it this way, so let's move to the snare. Same here, we can use a little bit of gate to clean it a little bit more and make it sound more punchy. And we can open some EQ on it. Not bad. Let's listen to the hi-hats. First, I'll EQ it a little bit. Again, filter the low frequencies that sounds very saturated after the tape, maybe a little bit too much. So we can get rid of those frequencies and stay with the higher frequencies. Maybe there is a little bit too much low mid frequencies on the snare, so I'll cut it. Something like this. Okay, so now we can compare the sounds of the original track to the sound of the process we done before the tape and the post-tape sound that we have now. So here it is. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to ask questions and commenting. Thanks for watching and hope to see you on my next video. Bye bye.